Daehoon's tormentor mocks him, suggesting that instead of stealing money, he should beg, given his dire circumstances. The others merely watch as the bully continues, bringing up Daehoon's recent whipping and expressing a desire to see the extent of his teacher-inflicted punishment. Despite Daehoon's pleas for mercy, the bully persists, reminding Daehoon of a middle school promise to obey him no matter what. Reluctantly, Daehoon exposes his bruises to the bullies, who only mock him more viciously. The bully then demands more money, and when Daehoon refuses, he kicks him in the stomach, threatening to attack his mother's snack bar if he continues to resist. Daehoon finally snaps, screaming for the bully to stop. This, however, only prompts the bully to prepare for an even more severe beating. At this moment, Hyunjin appears and punches the bully, scattering the onlookers who question his identity. As Hyunjin takes them down, he calmly explains that he is Daehoon's friend. Daehoon, who endures daily bruises and dark thoughts of violent revenge, finds solace when he receives an email from a group that addresses school violence. They offer to exact revenge on his behalf if he provides details of his bullying. Hyunjin, acknowledging the harshness of the world, criticizes those who dismiss such bullying as mere pranks, noting the lifelong trauma inflicted on victims and the impunity enjoyed by bullies. The next day at Jaeil High, Hong Reol, the bully's older brother, confronts Daehoon, demanding to know if he is the one involved. When Daehoon remains silent, Reol strikes him, insisting he show respect and acknowledge his actions. Daehoon hands over his phone, explaining that his friend intervened and provided his number for further confrontations. Reol calls the number, immediately accusing Hyunjin of assaulting his brother. Hyunjin calmly clarifies, explaining that he only retaliated after his friend, Daehoon, had been bullied by Hong Jin for 4 years. Daehoon's tormentor not only beat him and stole his money but also forced him to run errands and complete his homework. Recently, he humiliated Daehoon by making him strip in front of others. Confronted by Hyunjin, Daehoon's friend, the bully's older brother, Hong Reol, receives an ultimatum: if he's a decent brother, he'll make his younger brother apologize, ending the conflict peacefully. However, Reol dismisses this, seeing nothing wrong with his brother tormenting Daehoon. Hyunjin questions Reol's loyalty, given his brother's misdeeds, but Reol stands firm, even challenging Hyunjin to a fight if necessary. With a grin, Hyunjin agrees, arranging a time and place, and reveals his name is Hyunjin from Jaeil High. At the agreed location, both sides arrive with their respective reinforcements. Reol suggests a compromise, warning that a fight could escalate into a war between their schools. He proposes mutual apologies to resolve the issue. Hyunjin, suspecting Reol's motives, scoffs at the idea, stating only Hong Jin owes an apology. Realizing the situation's gravity, Reol reluctantly forces his brother to apologize. Hong Jin, initially defiant, eventually complies under pressure, muttering a barely audible apology. Daehoon then reveals that Hyunjin offered him 2 choices: either end the conflict with a promise from Hong Jin to stop the bullying or seek revenge. Although the first option was safer, Daehoon chose the second, driven by a desire for retribution. As Hong Jin's weak apology ends, Hyunjin suddenly punches him, signaling Daehoon's decision to make him suffer equally. Hong Jin collapses, and Reol orders his group to attack, igniting an all-out brawl. Song Ho charges into the fray, effortlessly taking down opponents, motivated by a promised bonus from Hyunjin. When an assailant tries to ambush Song Ho, Siwoo intercepts with a powerful kick, eager to prove his loyalty and usefulness to Hyunjin. Siwoo's determination stems from his desire to remain by Hyunjin's side, no matter the cost. The other students also charge in, eager for the bonus, surprising the other school with their fearless approach despite being outnumbered. Realizing the worsening situation, Reol decides there's only one option: take down Hyunjin. He believes that defeating Hyunjin will demoralize his subordinates and secure their victory. However, Hyunjin is much stronger and lands a powerful punch that sends Reol flying back to his starting point. Hyunjin crouches down to Reol's level and plays back a recorded phone conversation. Reol, bewildered, asks what Hyunjin plans to do with it. Hyunjin explains that Daehyun's testimony alone could lead to disciplinary action, but with the recorded evidence, Reol's life would be ruined. In desperation, Reol asks what Hyunjin wants. Hyunjin states his demand: today's fight was solely between Jaeil High and its students. If Reol mentions the incident to anyone, there will be severe consequences for him and his loved ones. When Reol hesitates to answer, Hyunjin begins to pull out one of his front teeth, causing Reol to scream in agony while others watch in horror. After the tooth extraction, Hyunjin remarks that Reol took too long to respond and should blame himself. The next day at school, Daehyun bumps into someone who initially tries to reprimand him. However, upon seeing Daehyun's face, the person is reminded of Hyunjin and quickly apologizes and runs away. Daehyun is astonished, those who once bullied him now flee in fear. School becomes peaceful for him once more, and he knows he must keep his promise. Rumors about Daehyun's situation soon spread and turn into facts when he posts on Hyunjin's social media page, thanking him for saving him from his bullies. He offers others the same opportunity, stating that if they want to inflict the same pain on those who ruined their lives, all they need to do is send an email, and their dreams will come true. While some are apprehensive, others are eager, knowing that if anyone from their tormentors appears, Hyunjin will deal with them. One day, a student talking nonsense is suddenly confronted by Hyunjin, who asks if he's Mo. Shocked that a stranger knows his name, Mo inquires how Hyunjin knows him. Hyunjin reveals that he learned everything about Mo from an informer and lists Mo's offenses, including violence, ostracism, extortion, and theft. Frightened, Mo drops his cigarette and, along with his friends, charges at Hyunjin, thinking they can overpower him. Hyunjin removes his hood and remarks that Mo truly lives up to his reputation as a good-for-nothing, then proceeds to beat them. Elsewhere, Shangho handles another group of bullies, informing Hyunjin of his progress. After Daehyun's social media post went viral, it attracted numerous emails from people seeking help. Siwoo also confronts a bully, reminding him of the pain he inflicted on others by taking their money, burning them, and beating them. He tells the bully that a normal life is no longer possible for scum like him. At Daesan ICT High School, a group of bullies torment their victims. One of them asks Haemin what his plan is regarding Hyunjin and his crew, fearing they too might become targets. Haemin acknowledges Hyunjin's toughness because he took down Shin Youngmin but questions why he's causing trouble in Daesan instead of sticking to Kyeonil. He instructs the guy to call Ryul, leveraging their relationship where Ryul can't refuse his requests. When Ryul arrives, Haemin explains that Hyunjin is simply responding to requests from victims, gaining moral high ground in the process. He criticizes Hyunjin for not leaving the weaklings alone, like he did when he was less powerful. Haemin expresses concern that Hyunjin will likely target him too, and Ryul agrees. Haemin then asks Ryul to report to a teacher that he was brutally bullied by Hyunjin. If word spreads about this, they could take legal action against Hyunjin. Ryul hesitates, finding the task daunting, but Haemin forcefully reminds him of their friendship and insists he comply. Haemin vows to handle Hyunjin himself, viewing him as a weakling. Meanwhile, Daehoon is called into a meeting with teachers who confront him about his social media post suggesting he hired someone to commit violence on his behalf. They warn that Hyunjin will be punished, regardless of Ryul and his brother's actions. When asked to explain, Daehoon denies Hyunjin's involvement, arguing hypothetically about finally receiving help after years of bullying. He maintains that Hyunjin is not connected to the incident, despite the teacher's suspicions. Outside of school, Haemin gathers his group and outlines his theory that Hyunjin is establishing a system across schools to swiftly deal with bullies in his territory. Haemin deduces that Hyunjin is using the issue of school violence as a pretext to take over Daesan, which he finds unacceptable. One subordinate asks what they should do, and Haemin responds that they need to break Hyunjin's spirit in a particularly cruel way. Elsewhere, a student named Hojin is relentlessly bullied, blamed for becoming trash because he initially defended someone else. His bully, Jonghyun, claims Hojin brought this upon himself and must now pay for the stress he caused. Suddenly, Hyunjin appears, confronting Jonghyun and asking if he is the trash standing before him. Seeing Hyunjin, Hojin apologizes, explaining that he had no choice but to follow the plan to protect his brother from harm. Haehyun silences Jonghyun with a punch, and suddenly, a swarm of students arrives, including Haemin, who greets Hyunjin with a smirk. Haemin remarks that Hyunjin has brought this upon himself by trying to take over Daesan. This entire situation was a trap, and Haemin sarcastically asks if Hyunjin is happy with all the attention. Hyunjin surveys the crowd, estimating about 100 people, and comments on their apparent abundance of free time. He then decides to share a story with them, revealing the identity of the Speaking from Daesan social media page admin, Jae-jin, the blue-haired snake. As the admin, Jae-jin could see the authors of posts and comments, and to gain favor with Hyunjin, he fully cooperated with Hyunjin's plan. Hyunjin tells Haemin that he has a close relationship with Jae-jin, who knows the identities of those posting anonymously. Suddenly, a group of people, including the bullies Hyunjin had previously defeated, appear behind him. These former bullies now seek to shed their old titles. Hyunjin reassures Hojin, telling him not to regret trying to save his friend, even though it made him Haehyun's puppet. Hyunjin asserts that the real trap was set for the bullies, who will now face their comeuppance. Earlier, Hyunjin had confronted Ryul, asking who he thought was responsible for sending his friend from Kyanil, Young Min, to juvenile detention. Hyunjin threatened to do the same to Ryul, who, terrified, begged for forgiveness, promising to avoid any further trouble. Hyunjin, seeing an opportunity, decided to use Ryul for his own purposes, instructing him to gather everyone from Jaeil and have them ready to act on his command. Haemin observes that Hyunjin only has about 20 guys with him, a much smaller number than his own group, and includes the guys Hyunjin had previously beaten. Haemin mocks Hyunjin for recruiting weaklings and spots Ryul among them, questioning his sanity. Ryul, unfazed, retorts that the situation at Daesan is irrelevant to him. He accuses Haemin of being delusional for thinking he is the top dog and questions his authority to order them around. Haemin asks if Ryul can handle the consequences of his actions, but Ryul declares he won't be handling anything. He asserts that the strongest among them will take over Daesan and doubts Haemin can defeat Hyunjin. Ryul provocatively suggests Haemin fight Hyunjin one-on-one, implying that a victory would earn Haemin much respect. This challenge was orchestrated by Hyunjin, who now cracks his knuckles and asks Haemin what he plans to do. If Haemin accepts, Hyunjin would relish beating him publicly. If he refuses, Hyunjin has another plan. Haemin, weighing his options, acknowledges Hyunjin's strength but notes their numerical advantage. Hyunjin mocks Haemin's hesitation, declaring he will begin cleaning up the place. Hyunjin methodically defeats Haemin's men, one by one, surprising Haemin. Seeing Hyunjin's determination to fight alone, some of Haemin's remaining men hesitate, but others charge in. Siwoo recalls Hyunjin's earlier instructions not to act. Hyunjin knows he can't defeat all 100 students, but he needs to demonstrate the consequences of disobedience. He recalls how Gangnam has tougher, more organized groups, with many individuals stronger than Taejun. He has to be prepared for anything and only seek help when absolutely necessary. If he can't handle this, he won't be able to exact his perfect revenge. Shangho, concerned, asks Siwoo if he'll be okay. Siwoo reassures him, emphasizing that they must trust him and stay back as instructed. An orange-haired student, furious with the situation, orders the others to attack Hyunjin, calling him just one man. They comply and manage to land a few hits, but Hyunjin quickly rebounds, his trademark evil grin plastered on his face. Haemin, stunned, realizes Hyunjin is truly insane. Hyunjin thinks they should see this through, no matter the cost, and won't back down while he's conscious. Haemin watches in shock as Hyunjin systematically takes down his men, all while wearing a sinister smile. Realizing the best option is to flee, Haemin tries to escape, but the others call him out for cowardice. Distracted, they fall victim to Hyunjin's brutal counterattacks. The orange-haired student, fed up, tells everyone to stand back and charges at Hyunjin. Hyunjin effortlessly dodges the attack, seizing the moment to tackle and pin him to the ground. He recognizes the student as Yu Jong-yoon and begins a relentless assault. The others rush to help, but stop in their tracks, horrified by the savage beating. Eventually, Jong-yoon begs for mercy, conceding defeat. Hyunjin's allies cheer, and Shangho instructs everyone to clear the area, with Siwoo following suit. Hyunjin stands and declares that from now on, all high schools in Daesan will follow Jaeil High's orders. They will come when called and leave when told. With no objections, the matter is settled. 2 weeks later, rumors of Haemin's cowardice spread, and he finds out. Even if he had beaten Hyunjin, he knows Hyunjin would have retaliated with far greater force. Angered, Haemin tells his classmates to stop gossiping. Just then, Hyunjin peers through the door and calls his name. Hyunjin taunts him, mentioning something he couldn't say before Haemin ran away. Does Haemin know Moon Byung-seon? Hyunjin received a touching email from him. Haemin, recognizing the name as a golden circle target, knows he must silence Hyunjin to keep this secret. Haemin charges, questioning why it matters if he knows Moon Byung-seon. Hyunjin, unmoved, effortlessly knocks Haemin out with a single punch. Haemin wakes up in the infirmary, the principal by his side. He immediately plays the victim, insisting Hyunjin, not a student of our school, should be punished. The principal, however, sides with Hyunjin, noting Haemin threw the first punch and that witnesses confirmed his troublemaking history. Furious, Haemin threatens legal action, but the principal's demeanor changes. Leaning closer, he asks if Haemin knows Moon Byung-seon. While Haemin was unconscious, Daehwan covered for Hyunjin, allowing him and Principal Yeonseok to strike a secret deal against the Golden Circle. The principal leans in closer, his voice cold and threatening, and tells Haemin that if he doesn't want his life completely destroyed, he should shut up and get lost. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Haemin, Hyunjin has already begun laying plans to drag him into utter ruin. As Haemin walks the streets, he reflects on how this day has been the worst of his life. First, he got expelled because of Hyunjin, then his father called, blaming him for losing his job. Little does Haemin know that this, too, is Hyunjin's doing. Out of nowhere, Haemin receives a call from Byungseon. Byungseon mentions that he heard about Haemin's misfortunes, but he shouldn't be surprised. Even Jo Dongjuan's family has fallen apart because of Hyunjin. If Haemin doesn't know who Jo Dongjun is, he's the one who hired the Golden Circle to target him. Byungseon warns that Hyunjin vowed to ruin his and his clients' lives, so even Haemin's career as a fitness trainer is at risk. Just then, Shangho and Siwoo appear. Byungseon tells Haemin something crucial: his dreams might not come true because, starting today, he won't be able to use his hands no matter how hard he tries. At Daesan Science High School, two students discuss the recent surge in street fights. Suddenly, one of them accidentally bumps into someone and starts yelling, demanding an apology. The person he bumped into, who had already apologized, is none other than Hyunjin's brother, Hyun. The yellow-haired bully, unimpressed, claims his shoulder hurts and demands more groveling. Hyun calmly explains that he was the one at fault for not watching where he was going, but the bully doesn't listen and slaps him across the face, asking if he has a death wish. Last winter, Hyunjin asked Hyun which high school he wanted to attend. Hyun, wanting to follow in his brother's footsteps, expressed a desire to attend the same school and eventually the same university. Hyunjin, thinking of his brother's safety, suggested Daesan Science High School instead, promising it would be the perfect fit for someone like him. Smiling, Hyun agreed, trusting his brother's judgment. Back in the present, both Hyun and Byungsu, the yellow-haired bully, are taken to their homeroom teacher. Hyun explains that he was just walking when Byungsu picked a fight, despite his attempts to apologize. Byungsu, trying to defend himself, yells that Hyun hit his shoulder and wanted to fight. The teacher, seeing through Byungsu's lies, doesn't allow him to continue his defense, leaving Byungsu fuming and thinking that the teacher is too stupid to understand the situation. Homeroom teacher Hakbyum is aware of the incident and now faces the challenge of addressing it. He decides to call both students' guardians to school the next day, despite Hyun's reluctance. Hakbyum insists that it's necessary. As they part ways, Byungsu warns Hyun, saying that if he doesn't accept the situation, his grandmother will suffer, and it will be Hyun's fault. Hyun tells Byungsu to stop talking to him, but Byungsu gives one final warning: his father owns a construction company, their homeroom teacher is likely a suck-up, and his brother is the top dog at Daesan Future High. Byungsu taunts Hyun, saying he should have stayed in his place like the orphan he is. The next day, Byungsu's father, Han Chul-ho, arrives, visibly angry about the incident. He insists that the other child is to blame. Other teachers pressure Hakbyum to accept that it was entirely Hyun's fault and to take disciplinary action against him alone, arguing that the other student needs to focus on his studies. Chul-ho adds that if Hyun's guardian apologizes, he will drop the matter. Hakbyum, however, stands firm, asserting that his duty is to guide his students correctly, not to appease powerful parents. He tells Chul-ho that Hyun's guardian is waiting in the counseling room. Chul-ho reluctantly follows, grumbling that they will crush their opponents. In the counseling room, they find Hyunjin, who explains that Hyun's grandmother couldn't come, so he is representing her. Upon seeing Hyunjin, both Chul-ho and his son fall silent. Hakbyum states that a witness saw Byungsu hit first. Chul-ho immediately apologizes, agreeing to discipline his son at home. Byungsu's brother also tells him to apologize, which confuses Byungsu. His brother hits him and orders him to apologize, which he does. Hakbyum announces plans for formal disciplinary action against Byungsu, to which Chul-ho agrees. After the session, Hakbyum asks Hyunjin to stay behind for a private conversation. Hakbyum reveals that despite being labeled a goody two-shoes, he is committed to ensuring his students lead proper lives. He admits to disliking the rumors about Hyunjin's backing by Daesan's elite, but he values having a good student like Hyun in his school. Hyunjin reflects that Hakbyum's dedication was why he wanted his brother to attend this school. In his previous life, Hakbyum was fired for defending a student targeted by the Golden Circle but never stopped caring for his students. Hyunjin assures Hakbyum that he trusts him to act in the best interest of the students and that he will gladly accept any punishment for Hyun if he misbehaves again. And with that, we must conclude for today. If you enjoyed this part and want to see what happens next, please like and subscribe. Thank you.